know the man whose name isn't mentioned? Because that man has said on record with me that he was raped. He has the evidence of the rape. He's a raped kid. There's blood. There's semen. There's torn and ripped clothing. The evidence is still there.
Not the government getting exposed for helping Diddy hide his male victims. Ali Carter blew the whistle a while back that the DA was allegedly helping Diddy pay off and hide victims because the testimonies they were going to give in court would also expose high-profile politicians. But no one took her seriously. Well, Jaguar Wright has stepped into the chat to back up those claims. But unlike Ali, she's putting her life on the line to put out recruits about who those exact victims are, as well as the names of the politicians the government is trying to protect. Folks weren't lying when they said Diddy got off easy because he had major T against politicians. I mean, this man went from facing over 100 years in prison to now barely serving 4 years. That kind of sentencing never happens unless there's some serious power play going on behind the scenes. And honey, Jaguar is stepping in as usual to tell us what is really going on. Let's get right into it. Now, if y'all remember, Jaguar Wright was part of the folks that really thought Diddy was going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. And the reason why she thought this was because the prosecution was really going in on him at the beginning. They were literally pulling out everything they had on him, exposed all the details of his freak-offs, got multiple judges to turn down his $50 million bail bonds on different occasions, and they even subpoenaed victims who were hesitant to share their story. Hell, they even had Cassie on the stand, heavily pregnant, telling the world how Diddy made male escorts pee all over her face and mouth. At this point, everyone was convinced that Diddy was 1,000% going to prison.
Walk. I want the twisty ties. I want him on the ground. I want people putting his head into the car. I want that. That's what they did to the kids.
Yeah, there's never been an image of Diddy in handcuffs.
No, we need that. We need that. I need that perp walk. So as I keep reaching out to victims, I can let them know it's safe to come outside.
Now, as I said, Ali was initially meant to testify in court. But once they found out she was going to talk about these things she saw, they took her out of the witness list because they wanted her to talk more about Diddy's freak-offs instead of focusing on what he was doing to those kids. A lot of people believe the prosecutors never actually cared to put Diddy away for his crimes. They just wanted to humiliate him by exposing his freak-offs. If they allowed Ali to get on that stand and talk about the caged-up kids, it would lead to other powerful people in the industry, including politicians, and that's not what they want.
I heard that there was 100 witnesses on the case, and I don't know if they even got through all of those witnesses, but Maureen Comey is the prosecutor of this case, in New York City, and she never asked about the children. And you know, there's so many people who wanted me to be a witness on this trial, and I want to explain jurisdiction. I know some people don't understand jurisdiction.
Honey, even Ali Carter was set to testify. However, just a day before she was supposed to get on the stand, she mysteriously disappeared. At the time, people thought she had been captured by Diddy's people.
A key witness in the Diddy trial has gone missing. This is super concerning because she is crucial for the case against one of the biggest names in music. She was actually going under a pseudonym like 3 other witnesses in the case, but she decided to waive that right and reveal her identity in her testimony. But now she's MIA. The federal prosecutors don't know where she is, her lawyers don't know where she is, and the prosecutors are using her testimony in the opening statement on May 12th. That's not that far away. For now, she's known as Victim 3, and she was subpoenaed, which means that she is required to be there. This all comes as the trial is finally underway this week. The jury will be selected by the end of the day. That's not that interesting. They're all going to remain anonymous. What is interesting is the list of celebrities who were shown to potential jurors to see if they knew them. Those names included Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and Kanye West, none of whom are actually implicated in this.
But Ali showed up again exactly a day after Diddy's trial ended. And baby, she had a whole lot to say. Apparently, she was supposed to testify, but once the prosecutors found that most of her testimony was also going to incriminate people way beyond Diddy alone, they took her out of the witness list and kept her hidden till the trial ended. Ali also went off on the people who have been begging for Diddy to be released because he has kids who still depend on him. She said Diddy didn't care about the fact that she was also someone's child when he decided to essay her at 15 years old. He also didn't have any problem manipulating Cassie when she was 19. But we are supposed to feel bad for his kids. Ali accused the prosecutors of helping Diddy get off on those charges. She brought up the fact that the feds knew about Diddy's freak-offs and criminal enterprises all the way back in the 2000s, but watched him keep rolling with it till Cassie's lawsuit put pressure on them to do something to please the public. All the way from the hotel, staff who cleaned up the rooms after the freak-offs, to the hotel managers themselves erasing CCTV footages to bodyguards getting paid to blow up cars and kidnap people, to even the DA initially trying to deny Diddy's illegal activities till the lawsuit started flying in the masses. A lot of folks knew but kept quiet because of the money they were getting from him.
I heard that there was 100 witnesses on the case, and I don't know if they even got through all of those witnesses, but Maureen Comey is the prosecutor of this case, on this case in New York City, and she never asked about the children. And you know, there's so many people who wanted me to be a witness on this trial, and I want to explain jurisdiction. I know some people don't understand jurisdiction, and everybody that is ready to free Diddy and be on the side of pedophiles, they keep calling Sean Combs' children, his twin daughter and his other daughter, You with me still? Yes? Okay. They keep calling them kids. The twins and the daughters kids. They don't need to be in the case because they're kids. Cassie Ventura was not called a child. Everybody tore that woman apart because they saw a pregnant grown woman sitting on that trial telling her story that everybody covered up as she was 19 years old. People are addressing Sean Combs' kids as kids, but they won't address Cassie as a kid when this happened to her. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was 15 years old when I had dealings with Sean Combs. She was 19. You get me? Okay? We're not talking about the other children that were on this case. Now, as you guys are seeing, I told you, the justice system is rigged. I don't know how many ways people need to say that, see it for themselves, research it, dig on it, and not understand that the justice system is rigged. And we've been saying that since the beginning. We went through court cases. We went through private investigators. This is how we have the insurance and the documents and the things and the receipts that we have, because we have been through this so many times before, where the victim is the one who gets the most hell and the predators walk. The amount of people that you've seen, I want you to stop and think about how many people were enabling this case. FBI covered it up for how long? This case was back in 2000, early 2000, right? So let's talk about who's guilty here. The DOJ released a video that at first everybody said they couldn't find a video of Cassie Ventura being. They couldn't find it. It didn't exist. You saw one clip, and then you saw DOJ released another clip to the news. So the DOJ had that clip to begin with. So the people who are telling you that they don't have the Epstein file, they're full of shit. What other way do you want me to explain that? They're lying to you. The ones that are telling you, Pam Bondi, that she only had a little bit, it's bullshit. Bullshit. Because they told you the same thing, and now you're seeing it with the Sean Combs case. They told you they just had a little bit of a video, and then it got released. That's on the DOJ. They lied to you. They told you that nothing happened, that this man, Sean Combs, was just this rap mogul that everybody loved. No, he couldn't have hurt nobody. He couldn't have did anything. And then all this stuff came out. Well, he did that. But yeah, he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else came out. Okay, well, maybe he did that too. But he couldn't have did anything else. And then something else comes out. How many people did you hear say, I left a party early? I knew about the abuse. I knew about children being there. I knew about him beating the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early. So guilty. How many people did you hear say about Cassie Ventura that I knew that she was being abused? I knew that she was wrong. I knew what he was doing, but I'm just now speaking about it. Guilty. Coward. How many maids did it take to clean up a penthouse suite? Know that there was blood and glass everywhere, but they kept their mouth shut because they got paid. Guilty. So we're not talking, let's go back down to the bottom. The hotel manager that you guys never seen his face at first of this hotel, he heard the beat, He heard the screaming. He knew what was going on. He knew that Sean Combs was in there. He knew that he had other girls with him. He knew what was going on. He had the footage. He talked to the security. That hotel manager is who took that footage from the security and said, okay, hand me some money or help me be quiet. I'm going to shut the hell up. You did not hear anything from that hotel manager until now. But they told you, that hotel manager, if you would have went back then, they would have told you, no, we don't know anything. Cover up. Guilty. The security that were on shift that night, that knew about this footage, that knew he dragged her down the hallway, that knew he kicked her in the back and all over the place. The hotel security that knew about that. They looked away. They got paid off. Guilty. How many ways now the FBI that have had all of this information for a really long time looked away from it as well?
Well,
Guilty.
as I said earlier, Jaguar also stepped into the chat a couple of days ago after Diddy's official 4-year sentencing, and she had a lot to say. She said she was disappointed by the judgment, but definitely wasn't surprised because Diddy has a lot of powerful people backing him. And those people knew that if they didn't pull strings to help him, he was going to expose everything he knew about them. But here's the thing, though. Jaguar said even though this sentencing was supposed to scare most of Diddy's victims back into hiding, she actually believes it'll make them come out and tell everyone everything, including his infamous male victim, who the government allegedly helped him silence. The identity of this victim is still unknown, but word on the street is the things he was going to say would have brought way more people down than Diddy alone. Jaguar claims she has personally been in contact with this victim, and that when the time is right, he plans to come out and reveal everything along with alleged, never-before-seen receipts that even the police do not have access to.
There was no reaction. I was expecting it. And considering the conversation that I'm having with a witness slash victim slash survivor, it's all par for the course. I've been saying for years that these people that are in power in our nation have the ability to make reality disappear. I've been saying that for years too. I guess nobody was really listening. And now I'm actually grateful for the verdict, because now people can know that I wasn't pulling anybody's leg. This is how it works. And what this verdict has done has scared a lot of people who probably were thinking about coming forward. But then, when I look at the other side of it, I think this might embolden some people to come forward as well. Because the truth is, after everything that I've heard recently, in this new interview that I'm doing now, yeah, it's time for the world to get a real understanding of exactly what kind of problem Brother Love, aka the Diddler, really is. It's, if only you heard what I just heard in this interview series that I'm conducting with a real life survivor of Sean John Combs, you would be appalled at what that trial was. You would be appalled at what was presented. You would be appalled at the entire proceeding. And yeah,
Jaguar also confirmed the allegations Ali made earlier about there being an agenda to just humiliate Diddy, but with no plans of actually punishing him. She claims that the jury were also allegedly in on it. And that's why they still let him off on all those teeing charges, even after seeing the freak-off's tapes and watching the victims testify. Ali and the alleged unidentified male victim were the only people that were really going to shake up that courtroom. And that's why they were allegedly never brought to the stand. Jaguar also brought up Diddy's alleged victim, Derek Lee Cardelou Smith, who was awarded $100 million after suing Diddy for allegedly essaying him back in 1997 while he was working as a bartender in Detroit. He said he met Diddy at a party at a Holiday Inn in Detroit, during which Diddy allegedly gave him a spiked drink that made him pass out. When he passed out, he claims that Diddy sat him. He said he woke up midway through the alleged essay to Diddy having intercourse with someone, and that Diddy allegedly told him, "I did this to you too."
The simple fact that those people could see all of the stuff that they saw and not even convict him of sex is unbelievable. The point of this trial and everything that's happened was to make it just about Diddy, so the entire industry could move forward and things could keep operating. The simple fact that Michael Rubin is now throwing the white parties that were supposed to have been shut down. The simple fact that things are quietly falling back into place. I think the domino effect thing is a reality. The man whose name isn't mentioned, Derek Lee Cordell Smith. That's the name I mention because that's the man that's not afraid to speak up about what happened to him and what happened to him all the way back in 1997 when he was only 24 years old. Nobody's talking about why Brother Love went to a prison in Detroit to have a conversation with a man who's gone on record and said that not only was he robbed, but he was physically assaulted and framed and put in jail for nearly 30 years of his life. And then the next thing you know, here comes that raid. And then the next thing you know, blah, 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 blah. And then a week before Diddy was taken into custody, he was granted a judgment of $100 million default. Diddy was arrested and the world didn't find out about that.
Jaguar is back, y'all. And this is just the beginning. As y'all heard, she's interviewing the unidentified male victim, and it's just a matter of time before she pops out with it. As usual, people had their own thoughts. Like this person who said, "The more I listen to her, the more I get scared of the industry." Another person said, "When the public start clocking in and start using their brains, they will be grateful for Jag's courage of stepping up and revealing the industry's evil deeds that have destroyed so many innocent lives." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Jaguar Wright going off on the government for allegedly helping Diddy to silence victims? And do you think this alleged male victim's testimony really stands a chance in making Diddy get thrown back in prison even after he comes out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.